All right, welcome to this Wisdom Wednesday. Recently, I came across an interesting a story or research experiment that was done. It was done by the Max Planck Institute back in 2009, and they took people and they dropped them off in the middle of the desert or in the middle of the forest and things like that, and told them to walk in a straight line, for a while. And it's interesting. These people, when they dropped them off, if they had the experiment was to see what impact that landmarks and guideposts and things like that had on their direction. And the people, the natural tendency, if they had no landmarks, no guideposts to guide them or anything like that, they tended to walk in circles just over and over again. The natural pattern for people, when you drop them off in the middle of nowhere and you tell them to start moving in a straight line, is they actually walk in circles over and over. They just continue to walk in the same circle over and over. Now, if they had the sun or the moon or something like that out to guide them, then they would walk in a more straight line. But then when it was cloudy out and they couldn't see that, they began to walk in circles again over and over. So whenever there was no distinct guidepost or something to guide them by, they were just walking in circles over and over again. So what does this have to do? What does this have to do with us? If we don't have a plan for our life, if we're not actively designing the direction that we want to go, we have some landmarks in place to measure progress and to see that we're on track, then we can end up just going in circles and circles over the time. And a lot of people talk about, we're stuck in the rat race, or we're going into this vicious cycle all the time. If that is the case, we need some kind of landmarks or guideposts or something to give you direction in your life. And a lot of that goes back to having a plan with some landmarks laid out of steps of progress that you need to be achieving. And so it's interesting in this study as well, they found that if the people had no landmarks to guide them as well, whenever they came across obstacles, the obstacle would knock them off of the path and they would just start spinning around in circles again. The people would walk in circles again whenever they got knocked off the path. But if they had a compass or the sun or the moon or some kind of marker to guide them, some distance point out in the future, then they could get back on track. They could re-navigate and get back on track if they had to go around some kind of obstacle. But if they didn't have that, the natural default pattern for people was to go back into just going in circles and circles and circles again. And so you need a plan. We need a plan. If you want to be moving forward in your life, we need a plan and a guidepost and landmarks that we can be using to navigate our lives. It serves almost as a GPS. And we need those things. Now, if you don't have that in your life, I've created a special new program called 40-Day Refresh. Now, the goal of 40-Day Refresh, we do a couple things. Number one, we get you things in order in your life, because order always leads to mental clarity. Once we have mental clarity, we begin to develop a one-year plan of the direction that you want to be moving, and we start to lay out some action steps and some landmarks so that you can tell if you are moving forward and you're not just spinning around in circles. Because if over the next year we want to make it, the best year of your life, and we want to move your life in the direction that we want to be going, we need a plan with some guideposts and some landmarks along the way so that we can be moving forward and not staying just stuck in the circle of life the way it is, because that's the natural default. If we don't have a plan, we don't have something to guide us and continue to move us forward, the natural default is to walk in circles. Now, if you want to get this 40-day refresh, it is free. I'm making it free. You can go to danielfoley.net/40-day refresh. The number 40-day refresh, you can find it there. It's got an online course, a daily email series that will walk you through this process of developing your one-year plan to get order, to get mentally clear, and to get your plan so that you can begin moving forward and get out of this pattern where we're staying stuck going in circles over and over in your life.